we're diving into a story today that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a movie. It's about industrial disruption on a massive scale, and it's sending some serious shockwaves through a whole global industry.
Okay, let me just ask you this straight up. Do you think a $6,000 motorcycle from a brand new Chinese company could possibly beat a $20,000 Ducati in a world championship race? I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Impossible even.
Well, guess what? It just happened. At the World Superbike Championship, a Chinese brand that's barely 2 years old called Zhang didn't just show up to compete. No, they absolutely dominated. They beat these legendary brands by a massive 3.685 seconds. And get this isn't some fancy one-off prototype. The race rules mean this winning bike has to be based on a regular mass-produced street bike.
Know China to do better business. Save time and money with expert insights on China trade and investment. Welcome to Trade with China.
So, the big question is, how on earth did they pull this off? Well, let me tell you, this was no accident. It wasn't a fluke. This win is the direct result of an incredibly powerful and carefully built industrial system. So let's peel back the layers and take a look at China's manufacturing blueprint.
All right, pillar number one for their success is something I'd call radical self-sufficiency. You know that winning motorcycle we were just talking about? A whopping 97% of its parts were made right there in China. Just let that sink in for a second. 97%. And believe it or not, it gets even more impressive. We're talking about the most critical parts, the real heart and soul of the bike, the high-performance engine, the complex electronics, the frame, all of it. 100% was engineered and built by Chinese companies. We're even talking about major tech players like Huawei getting in on the action.
You know, the founder himself really summed up this confidence perfectly. He basically said, look, just give us the blueprints, we can make 100% of it here in China, and the quality will be right up there with anything from Europe, Japan, or the US. And honestly, that's not just bragging, it's him stating a fact about the powerful ecosystem he's a part of.
And that's a perfect lead-in to our second pillar, what we call the cluster effect. The easiest way to think about it is this. The city of Chongqing is basically the Silicon Valley, but for motorcycles. We're talking over 400 specialized suppliers, all packed into this one city.
I mean, the depth of this ecosystem is just staggering. You need a drivetrain system, you got it. High-performance pistons, no problem. Everything you could possibly need is right there. What this means practically is that you can source 90% of an entire motorcycle within this tiny area. It's an advantage that, frankly, no other country on Earth can really match right now.
Okay, pillar number 3 is just raw, unmatched scale. By 2025, China is on track to export over 18 million motorcycles. To put that in perspective, that's more than the next 5 biggest exporting countries combined. This massive volume is their secret weapon when it comes to keeping costs down.
Think about it. When you're making over 60% of all the motorcycles in the world, you get this incredible economy of scale. The cost for every single high-tech part just drops through the floor. And that's exactly how a company like this can build a machine that beats the world's best, but for only a third of the price.
Okay, so now we've seen how this incredible ecosystem works. But let's shift gears and talk about what this all means for you, the investor. I see 4 really clear entry points, or 4 doors, if you will, that open up into this powerful landscape.
We're going to break down the opportunities in high-performance powertrains, smart and electric mobility, brand M&A and integration, and finally, using China as a global manufacturing hub. So, let's jump right in with those powertrains.
All right, opportunity number 1, high-performance powertrains. You have to understand, the market inside China is shifting big time. It's moving away from just basic bikes for getting around to high-end, powerful machines for fun. And the demand? It's absolutely exploding.
But here's the key. There are still some tech gaps, and that is your opening. If your company has expertise in things like advanced electronics, special lightweight materials like titanium, or high-precision sensors, well, this market is hungry for what you've got. A joint venture with a local partner could be a perfect way in.
Okay, let's open door number 2, smart and electric mobility. Everyone knows about China's dominance in electric cars, right? Well, this is where they're about to leverage that expertise and just leapfrog the global competition in motorcycles too.
All that amazing tech from the EV industry is spilling over, creating this huge ready-made market.
So if your business is in battery management systems, advanced driver assistance tech, or even complete electric drive units, you'll find that China's e-motorcycle scene is an incredibly natural fit for you.
Now, for opportunity number 3. This one's a strategy that's already been proven to work, and it's super powerful. You combine the prestige of a foreign brand with the sheer power of Chinese manufacturing. It really is the best of both worlds.
The playbook here is pretty straightforward, but man, is it effective. You either acquire or partner up with a Chinese manufacturer. Then, you infuse that partnership with your brand's history and design know-how. And finally, you leverage that insanely cost-effective local supply chain. We're already seeing this happen with famous old brands, like Italy's Morbidelli, which is moving its production right into China.
And finally, our fourth door. This one's the most direct approach. You simply use China as your global manufacturing hub. You're basically doing exactly what the company in her story did, but for your own brand, plugging directly into that same incredible ecosystem.
Imagine setting up your R&D, your production, right in the middle of a cluster like Chongqing. You tap into that dense network of local suppliers to build top-tier products at a cost your competitors can't touch. And then, you export them to booming markets all over the world, like Latin America and Africa.
All right, so those are the 4 big opportunities. Now let's get down to brass tacks. We need a practical playbook for how to actually get in, but we also need to be smart and keep our eyes open to the risks involved.
So here's your game plan, step by step. First, start small. Use pilot projects to test the waters. Second, actively look for and use local government incentives. They can be huge. Third, really target that consumer upgrade trend we talked about. Chinese customers are looking for premium stuff. And last, but definitely not least, have a plan to deal with the risks, like fierce price wars and technology that changes in the blink of an eye.
At the end of the day, what we've been talking about isn't really just a motorcycle. It's a blueprint. It's a blueprint for how to tap into China's industrial power to create a world-class product at a price that changes the game completely. So the real question for you isn't about motorcycles at all. It's where are you going to apply this blueprint next? Look, this channel is all about bringing you practical, real-world knowledge to navigate business, investment, culture, and all the economic trends you need to know about when trading with China. Your comments, they honestly mean the world to us. They encourage us and help us create even better, more useful information for you. So please hit that like button and subscribe right now for more of these actionable insights. Let's find those win-win solutions together and make sure you don't miss out on the opportunities to understand and succeed in trades with China.